Okay, students, you all are fine. I hope so. And then you are done your class test very nicely, which may be over last week. I don't know, one or two subject you may be having you are knowing and a class teacher knowing. Anyhow, you might have enjoyed the class test through Google Form, and really children are really going through your academy with lot of enthusiasm and interest. Go on please, because you have no space to relax anymore, because the first terminal already you might have got the notification. The first terminal exam will begin from 22nd of July, this month 22nd. So you have got to go with another virtually 3 weeks. So our children will go little faster, because some of the part of the syllabus is left. I was awaiting for the class test, because the class test you have so many subject, and then you have to have little time for it. Anyhow, so we will begin. There are 2 weeks I will teach you, maybe one extra day I will teach, that I will let you know. We will begin with ratio, where we have left before last week. Say ratio, one of the video you have learned up to question number 7 you might have learned it. Then we will learn about other aspects of ratio. But before that, we should go for the quick recap what we have learned, the master part of this lesson. I will tell you, you have learned about the definition of ratio. That means a comparison of two quantity of same unit, similar quantity you can say, can be termed as ratio. The two terms of the ratio are called antecedent and consequent. First term is antecedent and second term is called consequent. And then you have learnt about how to make this ratio, how to make it as a compound ratio. And compound ratio means two ratios where if you are multiplying both the antecedent and making one ratio, and both the consequent as well as, so the new ratio will be formed, that is will be compound ratio. We have learnt about continued ratio. Continued ratio means A is to B is given to you, B is to C is given to you. So one ratio, one of the term is common, so you'll have to make it as A is to B is to C, that is continued ratio. You have learnt how to simplify the ratio when the fractional ratio is given to you. You have learnt how to divide some quantity given ratio, that is and the first part means its own ratio divided by the sum of the ratio into the total quantities, that you have learned it. But children, this can be done through x also. If you take a variable and just multiply that variable with the given ratio for both the ratios, then whatever it comes now, you make it summation will become the total quantity. Find out the value of x, and whatever the value of x comes, that you multiply with the given ratio, you will find its share. I hope you have understood it. Then you have learnt about how to distributing the ratio. You have learnt the compound ratio, continued ratio, and all these things. Now we will go on with all these things, and another thing is multiplying factor. What does it? That will go on. Okay, now children, we'll go for I have taken question number 9. Question number 9 is said to you, this is given to you the two, that is not directly given to you in ratio, that is given in condition that one part is 2/3 of the other part. Then the total quantity is given to you rupees, amount is given to you rupees 300. So 300 rupees has to be distributed among two partners. One is 2/3 of the other. So it is very simple only. Let one part be, and the first part be 1. If you take it as 1, you better. If you take it as x also will do, but ratio means again you have to form in a ratio if you go for the procedure of solving through the ratios. Therefore first part is 1, then second part will be 2/3. 2/3 of 1, 2/3 of 1 means 2/3. Okay, so the ratios are what? 1 is to 2/3. So 1 is to 2/3 is the ratio. Two parts ratio is this. So see children, this is sum of the term is fractional. Then how can you make it a simplest ratio? You can simply multiply the denominator to both the term, you will find it. If you are multiplying 3 with 1, it will be 3, and 2 by 3 with 3, then you will find 2. So 3 is to 2. Else you can do one thing, you can divide that one ratio, you can make it as a fraction, that antecedent divided by consequent. So antecedent divided by consequent, if you do it, 1 divided by 2 by 3, which will become 1 into 3 by 2. This fraction will be reciprocal because it is divisor fraction. So 3 by 2 will be called 3 is to 2. Simple procedure I will tell you. Multiply the new denominator with all the fractional ratio, and then whatever it comes, no, that will become the whole number ratio. Could you understand me? Now see, you are dividing, so you have got 3 is to 2 is the ratio, simplest form. As per the condition, one share is 2/3 of the first one, therefore their ratio is 3 is to 2. Okay, first is to second will be 3 is to 2, and you have to distribute 3 is to rupees 300 in 3 is to 2 ratio. That's very simple. The amount of the first part will be 3 divided by sum of the ratio. Sum of the ratio is 3 plus 2, 5 into 300 in the total quantity. Its own term divided by sum of the ratio into total quantity. Got it? So 3 by 5 into 300, 5 will be cancelling, and you will get 60 because 5 6 are 30, 6 7 0, 60. 3 into 60 is rupees 180. And second part will be similarly its own term divided by the sum of the ratio, 3 plus 2 into total quantity 300. So 2 by 5 into 300, which will become, again it will be 60. It will be cancelling with 60, and 6 into 2, that is 12, 120. Understood? This can be very simply done as if you take a variable x, then let the first part be x, then second part definitely will be 2/3 of x, that is 2x by 3. So total quantity, that means total quantity will be this part and plus this part. First part plus second part is equal to total quantity in terms of variable. In terms of amount, already you have got in the question, that is rupees 300. Find out the value of x. How will you find out the value? 3 will be the denominator. 3 will be the denominator, and then 3 is the denominator. 3 into x, 3x plus 2x. So 5x by 3. 5x by 3 is equal to 300. 3 will be cross multiplying. 5x is equal to this, c, 3 plus 2x, 5x. So 3 will be more cross multiplying. So 300 into 3. 5x is equal to 300 into 3. X will be, see, 60 into 3, that is 180. So first share will be 180. Second share will be, if you can subtract from 300 and get 120, or you can do it 2 by 3. 2 by 3, this is second pi, it is second one share, this is first one share. So that is, if you simplify, you will find 120. You can do that in that procedure also, whichever is convenient to you. Distributing some quantity in the given ratio, if you take x variable and multiply x variable with the ratio given to you, then you will find the quantity in terms of x for as many share is given in terms of ratio. Okay, then all this quantity will add, and which is equal to total quantity. Find out the value of x, then later on you multiply x with the ratio given to you, you will find the each term share. Could you understand me? That's very simple also. You can do this procedure also, its own term divided by the sum of ratio into total quantity. Okay, now moving on to question number 12, the number distributed. Here it is given that one of the part, first ratio is given 9 is to 11, and then it is given the first term is 72. So what will be the total number? Fantastic. You know the formula. What is the formula? Its own term is, see the total quantity will be what? Its own ratio divided by the sum of ratio into total is equal to into that total number will be its own share, isn't it? So same formula we are using it. So first part is what? The number distributed in the ratio is 9 is to 11. Question number 12 I have taken. See, then what has happened, then first part is given to you as 72. 72 is the first part. Therefore, let the number is n or x. The total number is n or x. You are not knowing it. It's unknown quantity, that will be, let it be x. So what will happen? First part is what? First part ratio is what? First part is equal to its own ratio divided by the sum of ratio into the total quantity, that is number, is not it? First part value is given to you 72, you have put the value 72, and the number you have taken as x, so you have made it x. So 9 by, if you are adding this 2, you will find 20, so 9 by 20 into x, so 72 is equal to 9 by 20 into x. Very simple linear equation solving. So you have taken this one to the left hand side and that one to the right hand side. So this becomes 9x by 20 and this becomes 72, isn't it? So 9x will be what? 20 into 72, is not it? Then x will be what? 20 into 72 into 20 by 9. So you can cancel this one. 8 9s are, so 8 into 20 is 160. Therefore the x value is 120. X is what? The number. So number is 160. I hope you have understood. You know the formula. Its own share divided by the sum of ratio into total quantity is its share. So share you are knowing it. First term you are knowing it. First quantity you are knowing it. So putting the value and going for the simplification of linear equation, you will be able to find the answer. If it is given to second part, the second part is equal to, you write down second part is equal to 11 by sum of the ratio into the number is x. Then you find out the value of x. I hope you have understood. And now I will move on to question number 15. Third one I have taken. The question is said to you the which ratio is greater. Very simple. Which fraction is greater? I said in the in my teaching video, where I have given the intro of ratio. There I have said to you. So which part will be greater? Ratio. You convert the ratio into fraction. All the ratio can be converted into fraction. Antecedent divided by consequent will be its fraction. So that way, then you go for the cross multiplication. But if it is a fractional ratio, you will have to convert that one into simplest form of ratio. That means whole number ratio. So what you need to do is, which one is greater? This is a fractional ratio given to you, and this is whole number ratio which is given to you. Fine, this can be converted into fractional ratio. See, I said you to convert into fractional ratio, you can multiply the LCM with each term that you can find out. That is one way. Else, no, if it is a unit fraction, this cross multiplication. 4:7 will become, or antecedent divided by consequent. If you do it, then second term will be reciprocal. So that this antecedent divided by consequent. So antecedent into consequent term will be reciprocal. So 4/7. Or I said, if unit fraction means all the fractions whose numerator is 1 is called unit fraction. If two ratios are there, both the ratios having the numerator 1, then go for the cross multiplication. You will find it means others one denominator will be its numerator, and the first one denominator will be the second one's numerator, and that will be the ratio. Could you understand me? Now, so 4:7 is the first ratio, and second ratio is 3:4. 4:7 is 4/7. 3:4 is 3/4. Compare these two. So 4:7 is greater or 3:7 is greater? Obviously, like term means you don't have to do the comparison by cross multiplication. You can very well find that denominators are same, so numerator which is greater, that is greater. But till to go on with the procedure, I said it, go for the cross multiplication. 4 7s are 28 and 3 7s are 21. 28 and 21. So this value will be 21, this value will be 28. So which one is greater? 28 obviously greater than 21. So this value will be greater. So 4/7 will be greater. 4/7 is the ratio. 4:7 is the ratio. Which one? 1/7 is to 1/4. So this is greater or that one greater? This one greater. Obviously, this value is 1/7. So 1/7 is to 1/4 is greater. I hope you have understood. Very simple. Convert into simplest form of the ratio, whole number ratio that is, and then you go make it fraction, go for the cross multiplication if it is not a like fraction. Here it is not required because 7 and 7 like fractions, so this fraction is greater, so this ratio is greater means hence this ratio is greater. You can very well write, but to make you the make you thorough with the procedure, I just did this. Okay, fine. We move on to question number 17. 17 said, compound ratio. Compound ratio means what? Antecedent multiplied with the another ratio as antecedent, and consequent subsequently multiplied with the consequent of the other ratio. So that is what we are going to do. Here it is 14:9, and next one is given a fractional ratio 1/7:1/3. Again unit fraction. So this ratio definitely will be 7:3, 3:7. Very nicely go for the cross multiplication. I didn't do so because I'll have to. Oh, now I'll have to find out you don't have to take out the whole number ratio, because you need to find out the compound ratio. Compound ratio means what? Both the antecedent will be multiplied, both the consequent will be multiplied, and what is the new ratio form? That is called compound ratio. It's very simple sum. So what you need to do is, if you multiply 14:1/7, definitely it will become 2. 7 will go with this 2, and 9 will be multiplied the consequent here. So 9, 3 will be cancelling. So 2:3. 2:3 is the answer. I hope you have understood it. Now moving on to question number 19, which is very, very important. You need to find out A:B:C. What is that? That is continued ratio. What you need to do, I have said in my previous video also. Once again, please concentrate yourself and learn. See, I have taken the example. See, find A:2B:C, where A:2B is given to you 7 whole 1/2:5, and B:2C is given to you 1 whole 1/4:3. First step will be what? Any mixed number fractions will be converted into improper fraction. Then you go for whole number ratio. 15/2:5. 7/2 means 5. 7 to the 14 plus 1. 15/2:5. A:2B. That became what? I said you can do this as multiplying this one. If you multiply this one with 2 and this one also with 2, then also it will come 15:10. I didn't do so. What I did, I have divided this. 15/2 divided by 5 is equal to 15/2 into 1/5, which is equal to 15/2 into 5. Isn't it? 15/2 divided by 5 is equal to what? 15/2 into 1/5. That means 15/2 into 5. 15/2 into 5. So 3 if 5 will be cancelling. 3/2. 3/2 is equal to 3:2. Got? A:2B have got as a whole number ratio 3:2. B:2C also similarly 5:3, which is equal to 5/4 divided by 3, which is equal to 5/12. It is simple. So 5:12. Now A:2B is 3:2 and B:2C is 5:12. Definitely, dear one, I will tell you the A:2B is given to you. See what I said to you. Here is B, here is B. Both B you see. So B has to be equal. Then only A:2B is to C. You can find it out. How can you make B equal? See, this one's B multiplied with the first one, second one's B term. This you multiply with the first one, and first one's B term multiplied with the second one. Could you understand? Once again write down 3:2. You have written down 3:2. You will multiply B with what? 5, because here B is 5. So first one B is 2. So this will be multiplied with 5 and this will be multiplied with 2, isn't it? It's 2. But you can't multiply with one term, I said to you. You have to multiply both the terms. So 2 you have multiplied with 5, fine. But similarly 3 also has to be multiplied with 5. So what is becoming? 15:10. A:2B become 15:10. B:2C similarly it was 5:12. 5 will be multiplied with 2, no? So 5 has multiplied with 2, but once 5 you have multiplied with 2, you can't do injustice to the consequent. 12 also has to be multiplied with 2. So 12 into 2. So 5 2s are 10 and 12 2s are 24. Now A:2B is 15:2 and B:2C is 10:24. So now B, you see, B both the terms are equal. Here B, so these are equal. Now we can conclude A:2B:C will be 15:10:24. Could you understand me? First term's B's part will be multiplied with the second term B, and second term B will be multiplied with the first term B, and doing so, whatever you are multiplying, both and antecedent and consequent will have to multiply for the first ratio and for the second ratio as well, and then you will find the b's are equal. Then that time, whatever the ratio is forming, a is to b is to c will be b writing one time. Could you understand? I hope you have understood it. Go through this video once again if you don't understand. Now moving on to question number 22, you'll have to find out the share between three ratios. Same formula, its own term divided the sum of the ratio into total quantity. But children, I have said to you, you can do it with the x also. Here you can find out, see what is given to you, condition. Here the condition is given to you, 22 sum is given to you some condition. That is not given directly the ratio. What is that? It has said, see, it has said to you that distribute 6600 between A, B and C, so that A has twice as much as B and B has half as much as C. So let you can start with C. Let C have ₹1. Therefore B will be what? B share will be half of C. So B share will be half of 1 means half, ₹half, and then A has what? Double of B. B have got half, so A will be 2 into half, that is 1. So A is to B is to C what? 1 is to half is to 1. A is to B is to C will be 1 is to half is to 1. LCM you multiply with all. Your LCM is 2. 2 into 1 is 2. Half into 2 is 1. 2 will be cancelled. And 1 into 2 is 2. So whole number ratio will become 2 is to 1 is to 2. Isn't it? That how much you have to distribute? The total amount is 6600. So now you know sum of the ratio done. A share will be what? A's term is 2. 2 divided by the sum of the ratio 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 into 6600. A's share. So this become 2 by 5 into 6600. 5 will be cancelling, and on division you will find 1320. 5 ones are 5, 16, 5 threes are 15, 1 left over, 1 and 0, 10, 5 twos are 10 and 0, so 1320. So 1320 into 2 will be 2640. A share will be 2640. Let us see B share. B share will be 1 divided by sum of the ratio into total quantity. So 1 into, see, this become 5 you are dividing with this. This one divided by 5 will definitely will come this. So 1 into this is equal to this. And C share will be as like A share, because they are having the same ratio. So 2 C share with own term, 2 divided by the sum of ratio into this, if you do it that. Otherwise you can very well do this one, x plus x by 2 plus x is equal to 6600. Find out the value of x and accordingly you will find out its share. I hope you can do any of the procedure. I will tell you, if you go for this x procedure, it will be easier, but I am teaching you ratio, that is why sum of the ratios formula I have just taken. Could you understand me? Now 23 I will do. Here something is called multiplying ratio. Multiplying ratio part I have not sent you. Multiplying ratio means the original final quantity divided by original quantity. Multiplying ratio, remember this. Multiplying ratio of anything will be, means if you multiply this ratio with the quantity, you will find the required quantity. Could you understand? So multiplying ratio is the final quantity divided by original quantity. So question number 23 said to you, you will have to find out in what ratio, 23rd one I have taken, in what ratio should we reduce 100 to obtain 80. 100 you are making it 80. What ratio you should reduce? So what is the final quantity? 80 definitely. And what is the original quantity? That is 100. So final quantity divided by original quantity, that is 80 divided by 100. It should be reduced in the ratio 80 divided by 100, that is equal to 4 by 5, which is equal to 4 is to 5. You have got it? This formula if you know then. Now you need to make something increase or decrease some money, some amount in the given ratio. There also, if you use this multiplying ratios formula, it will be easy. Multiplying ratio will be, in this case, no, it is given to you. I have taken second one, increase in rupees 12.25 paisa in the ratio 10:7. 10:7, you are increasing, the multiplying ratio will be 10/7. So 10/7, if you multiply with this quantity, you will find the answer. Could you understand? So final quantity will be, this quantity divided by 10/7, multiplying ratio. Then if you simplify it, you will find it is coming 1 rupees 75 paisa into 10, which is equal to 17 rupees 50 paisa. I hope you have understood all these sums. Go through, practice, doubt if it is, then I am always with you.